So it is 10:30 on September 20th, 2022, and we're going to begin the meeting of the Forfeited Land Commission. The purpose of this meeting is to hear the submitted sealed bids from members of the public who are interested in purchasing property from the Forfeited Land Commission. So with that, I'll begin with asking if we just want to say who's on the call. I'm Marie Walls, I'm the treasurer, and in the executive conference room we have
Kimberly Chesney, tax collector.
Patsy Green, registrar of deeds.
Jeff DeLoach, deputy tax collector.
And I believe that because there are two members of the committee, Ms. Patsy and myself present, we're able to hear these submissions. So with that, I'm going to pass it on to Kimberly and Jeff for the presentation of the bids.
Sure. I'm going to hand out, and Maria, it's in your meeting invite, the list. It's just this copy of the spreadsheet. The only other thing that has been added since yesterday before noon is we received another bid on one of these properties that are on the spreadsheet. Jeff, I'm going to turn it over to him so he can acknowledge what it is, but it's for the parcel that's on the spreadsheet, Reynolds Robert Carey, trustee, so R800-022.
I'm sharing the screen.
Perfect.
For those watching, and so if you could please repeat that because I was opening.
Sure. Reynolds. So almost towards the bottom, but Reynolds
right
Robert.
Here, this one?
Yeah.
Yes, that one is the one we received another bid on, and I'm turning it over to Jeff so he can.
Yes, the initial sealed bid we received on this parcel was for $100. We received a second sealed bid from another entity. That bid is in the amount of $3,804.61.
Is the 3,000? You know what? Let's come back to that. Do you want to go through the bid amounts for each parcel? Oh, bid amount. Here we go. So for all of those viewing, the list of the properties is on the left-hand side, property identification number, the delinquent owner, the year that the property went to tax sale, broken out the delinquent taxes that have accumulated since that date, the total amount outstanding, and then the sealed bid amount. For those watching who are not aware of what our process is, a sealed bid means that Ms. Patsy and I have not viewed or were not aware of these bid amounts prior to this meeting today. And a sealed bid is one that is less than the amount due. So I would like to propose, if you're okay with it, Ms. Patsy, that we consider the bids for the other properties that do not have a competing bid separate from the one that does. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So do we want to open it up to questions? If Ms. Patsy, do you have any questions about these properties or the bid amounts or anything for Jeff or Kimberly?
My concern only is that the bid amount is way below what's owed. Like extremely below. And I really thought that it had to be, the minimum amount was what was owed. But y'all do, yeah. Okay, a sealed bid can be different.
Correct. So the minimum amount that would be owed, so I'm going to use the first one as an example. This pin right here would be $4,653.81 is the total amount due. Now, Ms. Patsy, I know that you know this, so I'm just repeating it for anyone who's going to view this recording and not know what the process is. So the property went to tax sale in 2015. That's the first time it became delinquent. And since then, every year that the property has not had a bid at the tax sale, the tax amount has grown and grown. Occasionally, I'm not speaking particularly on this property, but occasionally the tax amount due exceeds the amount that someone is willing to pay for it at the tax sale. And it will remain in the FLC for quite some time, as you can see with many of these. A bid amount that would be essentially automatically accepted would be a bid amount that's the minimum amount due, because that it would be the opening bid at the regular tax sale. So FLC properties, of course, can be bid upon at any time throughout the year, not just at the annual tax sale. But in order to be automatically essentially accepted, it would need to be for the minimum amount due. If a bidder is interested in bidding less than the amount due, whatever amount that is, they would submit that a sealed bid. And the reason it's called sealed, it's because it is. I don't know what that amount is, and neither do any other members of the committee. Until the committee convenes, that amount, the bid amount, is shared, and then we take a vote by majority, a majority vote on whether to accept the bid or not. Because there are only 2 members present today and not all 3, we would need to be unanimous. It could not be 1 no, 1 yes. And for the bid amount, I mean.
Well, another question is, was this advertised to the public? The properties that are up for sale?
Kimberly, I see you nodding, but if you want to verbally confirm.
It's always on our website. We have it on there all the time. And even at our tax sales, Ms. Maria was just acknowledging, we give a list to everybody that shows up for any properties that are in the FLC.
Yeah.
So
yes.
We try very hard to put it out there, and we get lots of questions throughout the year, like, where's the list? And we direct them, and it's updated weekly.
Mm-hmm. And in previous years, we have done a specific auction for FLC properties. So in addition to the annual tax sale, which of course they are announced and auctioned by the auctioneer just like any other property, and them being on the website year round, we have held online auctions for our FLC property, and these have continued to remain.
Yeah, I mean, I understand we're trying to get this property back on the tax rolls.
Correct.
I just hate seeing it go for $100 a piece. Anyway.
Correct. And Kimberly, I know I want to hear what you were going to add. Can you confirm, I don't want to assume, but could you confirm this is the first time we've received bids on these particular properties?
It is the first time we've received bids on these properties, and I do want to acknowledge, so we can only collect on 10 years taxes and recent. So every year, so there's some properties, and this is just for acknowledgement, that have 2012 taxes. Some of those had 2011 taxes and prior that have been being written off because we can't collect them. So I just want to acknowledge that. Because I understand what Ms. Patsy is saying.
Yes, yes. And I think that's ultimately, the challenge for this committee when it comes to properties like this. Do we accept a less amount, in this case, significantly lesser amount, for these properties in order to get them back in the hands of a paying taxpayer, or do we continue to allow them to remain in the FLC and accumulate taxes that are not being paid? And that's ultimately the question. For me, I'll say that from my experience and from our records, we have not had a single occasion that the FLC, the Forfeited Land Commission, has approved a sealed bid and those properties returned to tax sale. They have always remained current.
Well, I think that was what I was leaning, even though it's a really, really low bid, extremely low, to get them back on the tax rolls and to clear up this list.
Yes. And the incredible, I'm sorry, Ms. Patsy, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was done. Yeah, I was done.
Well, this would be, since you said to clean up the list, this would be the first time that the Forfeited Land Commission has not had any properties. So it means every property is on the tax roll, which would be an incredible occurrence. So,
can Okay, the one piece that we've put aside so far, was that a family member that bid on it, or can I ask?
You may. It's Hague Point Club and Community Association,
no.
so it's the HOA.
Yeah. Okay, I was just wondering, they bid, and that one's been on there, I'm assuming at least 2012 and prior, and yet their bid was a lot higher.
Are you talking about this Reynolds?
Yeah, I'm just
Trustee?
looking at it in
Okay.
comparison to the other ones. If it was a family member of a trust, I understand. I mean, they want it, they keep it in the family, but it wasn't. Against my better wishes. No, I say let's go with it and take the bid offer on all these pieces of property and clear it up and get them back on the tax
Okay.
rolls.
Okay, so to clarify, Ms. Patsy, I'll take that as a motion to accept the bid amounts for all those listed for $100 offered by CNC Property Investments, with the exception of parcel number R800-02200E0048, owned by Reynolds Roberts. We'll consider that separately since there is a competing bid. So do I have that motion correct, Ms. Patsy? For all other properties, we make a motion to accept the bid amounts as presented.
Yes.
I second that motion. So those of us in favor? Aye. Okay, wonderful. So those properties will be processed by the delinquency team. We'll ensure that those titles get processed correctly, Ms. Patsy, with your team's assistance, and Ms. Jenny will include that in our minutes. So going back to this property, R800-02200E, owned by Reynolds Robert Curie trustee. Kimberly or Jeff, would you mind repeating the amount of the competing bid?
Yes, the competing bid is in the amount of $3,804.61.
So for consistency, you said that was being offered by the Hague Point HOA. Did I hear you correctly?
That's correct. Hague Point Club and Community Association.
Understood. And just for the record, because if you could confirm, because their bid amount is greater than the tax amount due, had their bid been received before the sealed bid, they would have automatically been awarded the property. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. So the reason they're being considered today is that we do have a competing bid. And like I mentioned, the FLC was not aware of what that competing bid amount was. So I make a motion that we accept the bid by Hague Point HOA in the amount of $3,804.61 as the greater of the two bids.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Was there any other business that we wanted to consider today while the FLC is together?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Well, this is very exciting that we officially do not have any properties in the FLC, at least for the next few weeks.
Yeah. When is your tax sale?
October 3rd.
October 3rd.
First Monday in October. Every year.
Yes.
About a week and a half.
Now, do I need to attend that, or does it matter?
We would like you to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, I worked it 1 year over in Jasper County, but it was just mainly to keep record, and all that. And if I don't have to, I ain't.
Okay.
Nope, we got it covered. And we'll have a report of the outcome, obviously, on our website, and we'll share that with the members of the FLC committee as well as council. So, okay, well, considering there's no other business, it's 10:44, and we will end the meeting of the Forfeited Land Commission. Thank you so much, everyone. Congratulations.